When we're going through difficult times, understandably, all we want to do is get to the other side. But sometimes it's a time to wait. And that's what this guided meditation is all about. Hi, I'm Brian Smith, and I help people who have lost someone and are experiencing grief to overcome their sadness, the overwhelm, and the depression that can overshadow their lives through my Grief to Growth program so that they can find joy and purpose, build resilience, and return to their lives stronger than before. I hope you find this meditation helpful. Close your eyes and imagine. What if the things in life that cause us the greatest pain, the things that bring us grief, are actually challenges? Challenges designed to help us grow, to ultimately become what we were always meant to be. Now we feel like we've been buried, but what if, like a seed, we've been planted? And having been planted, we will grow to become a mighty tree. Jesus said, unless a seed falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. The seed falling to the ground seems like the end, yet it is just the beginning. Let's take a journey together. You find yourself walking along a country road. It's a beautiful day. The temperature is perfect. The sun is high in the sky. There's not a cloud in sight. Enjoy the feel of the breeze on your skin. Feel your footsteps gently fall along the road. Now, what do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? As you're walking, you see a field off to your right. There's a gate. You open the gate, you go through the gate into a field of beautiful wildflowers. They're gorgeous, swaying in a gentle breeze. You stroll through the field of wildflowers. And as you look ahead, you see a wooded area, thick with trees. You walk through the wildflowers to this wooded area. You enter the woods and you walk among the trees as the sunlight filters through the canopy above. The ground is soft underfoot. There's a carpet of leaves. Now you come to a clearing in the woods, and across the clearing, you see another grove of trees. These are lodgepole pine trees. The lodgepole pines are towering, mighty trees. And as you look up into the trees, you notice they are full of pine cones. Each pine cone is covered with a wax coating. That coating protects the seeds inside the cones for years. The seeds cannot grow while they're enveloped by the pine cone. Only the scorching heat of a fire can melt the wax, releasing the seeds. And as you witness, a fire starts in the woods. The fire sweeps through the trees in front of you. You hear the crackle as the fire burns. You smell the smoke. Now you are not harmed by the fire, as this is a magical place where no harm can befall you. Also in this place, you can move through time and space at will. Now the fire sweeps through, destroying the trees and everything around them. It looks like total devastation. You notice as the pine cones fall to the ground, the wax coating around the cones melts, and the seeds are released by the fire. The seeds fall to the ground where they lie dormant. Now, the fire has burned itself out. You feel a breeze come along, and you watch the breeze pick up the seeds. The breeze distributes the seeds to the places where they will eventually grow. As you watch the scene, you are reminded of your own fire. Whatever it is that has caused your grief, the fire that caused your pain, the fire that rocked your world, the fire that seemingly destroyed what you love, is also the fire that releases those seeds in you to find a place to take root. Now let's fast forward through time. As you gaze at the restored forest, you observe a caterpillar. You watch as this caterpillar goes about its life, eating leaves, growing day by day, until one day, nature tells the little caterpillar it's time to create its cocoon. The caterpillar spins its cocoon around its plump little body, and it waits for its transformation. Now, from outside the cocoon, it looks like nothing is happening. But in this place, you have the ability to observe what is happening inside the cocoon. Peer inside that cocoon and take note of what is happening. To your surprise, the caterpillar releases digestive enzymes inside the cocoon. The caterpillar's very body is digested. You now see what appears to be caterpillar soup. And all appears to be lost as our little caterpillar is no longer recognizable as his former self. He's certainly not the beautiful butterfly we expected him to become. If you were to cut the cocoon open now, the liquid would fall to the ground, and the caterpillar's life would be over. The cocoon protects the caterpillar while this transmutation takes place. And again, all is not as it seems. Even in the caterpillar goo, in what appears to be chaos, there is order. There is a plan. What you did not see as you watched the caterpillar go about its life is that inside the caterpillar, from its inception, have been tiny discs. There's been a disc for each body part the caterpillar will have as an adult butterfly. When the caterpillar's body was dissolved, the discs were released into the soup that was his body. Now watch as the discs grow, using the nutrient-rich soup to create body parts that will assemble into the majestic butterfly. Turn your attention away from the caterpillar for now. Look to your left. You notice a mighty oak tree. It's full of leaves, waving in the gentle breezes. The leaves are green and vibrant. Summer is here, with long days and warm nights. Now let's move forward in time. The days are growing shorter. There's a nip in the air. Autumn has come. The sap in the tree slows its flow. The leaves begin to turn colors, orange and red and gold. Autumn is here and winter is on its way. Now, the oak cannot support the leaves over the winter. It wisely allows the leaves to fall to the ground. During the upcoming season of short days and cold weather, the tree will conserve its energy. The days are even shorter now. The air is cold. Winter is here. The sap inside the tree slows down even more. The sap is barely moving. The leaves have fallen to the ground. And as you observe the tree, if you did not understand the cycles of nature, you might think the tree is dead. But nature has a plan. Now the leafless tree takes its respite, it pauses. It rests through this time of cold and dark. It does not struggle. It does not attempt to grow more leaves. It simply rests. Now, as winter ebbs, the days start to grow longer. Here comes spring. Sense the anticipation in the air. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Listen as the forest comes back to life. And as the days grow longer, the sun warms the earth, and the tree begins to come back to life. The sap flows faster. The tree produces beautiful flowers. But even the flowers don't stay. The flowers, too, have their season. The flowers are here for a purpose. You see the flowers in all their majesty, summoning the bees and other insects to help them pollinate, to produce seeds, which will become more trees. And once they have served their purpose, the flowers wither. The flowers give way to leaves, which will serve the tree until the next autumn, and the cycle begins anew. All through these cycles, we see the tree survive and grow, even through the winters, where to all appearances, the tree is dead. When we slow down enough to take a look, nature tells us what we need to know. And wisdom gleaned from nature appears throughout our literature. From the book of Ecclesiastes, we learn there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. I would add that there is a time to do and a time to just be. A time to wait. This is your time to rest. This is your time to mourn. This is your time to weep. And that is not only okay, it's how it's supposed to be. Like the lodgepole pine seed that has fallen to the ground and seemingly died, you are waiting your time to burst forth. When the lodgepole pine seed has finally been freed from its cone, it doesn't immediately spring forth into a new seedling. Like the caterpillar in the cocoon, you've been digested, but you will emerge even better. When the caterpillar has been dissolved, it doesn't instantly become the butterfly. Like the oak tree that has dropped its leaves, it's time for you to rest in this season of winter. It's time to wait for spring, which always, always, always comes. When the tree is in the season of winter, it rests. It doesn't do. It doesn't rush. Accept this moment now. Accept that this moment is perfect just as it is. Now, as you continue your stroll, you come upon a pond. The water in the pond is murky. Picture the lotus bulb. And what probably comes to mind is the lotus flower. That's what we tend to focus on. We marvel at the beauty of the flower once it has emerged from the water and opened up its petals. But set that aside. Picture the lotus bulb buried in the mud, deep below the water. The lotus bulb sits beneath murky water, barely visible from the surface. Streams of sunlight struggle to pierce through the muddy water, reaching down to the lotus bulb, coaxing it forth. The lotus bulb remains submerged for the time, just being. Right now, go within. Give yourself permission at this moment to just be. Just like the lotus bulb. If you're comparing yourself to others right now, lay that down. Each of us is on our own path. You might think it's past time for you to have healed. Others might even tell you that. Each of us will blossom in our own time. If there's negativity around you, if others are judging you, do not let it interfere with this, your time to heal and to rest. If you are judging yourself, let that go. Be confident that all is as it should be, and all includes you. Trust the process. Things might look murky at the moment. Like the water above the lotus bulb, you may barely be able to see the light, and that's okay. Sometimes the path ahead is murky to teach us patience, to allow us, no, to force us to slow down. The murkiness gives us the opportunity to focus on the present. As you rest and eventually begin to take one step at a time, you will move closer and closer to the surface, gradually re-emerging. Now focus on what you can do now, at this moment, on this day, and do that and only that, and pause. And that pause might be for a few moments, a few days, or even weeks or months. You are not in a race with anyone else. Right now, have no thought for tomorrow, or next week, or next year. Your soul has an eternity to accomplish what it wants to accomplish. If you don't feel like doing anything, perhaps it's time to just dwell in this murky state. Now, unlike the lotus bulb, the light shines not only above you, but from within you. Turn to the light within for now. Be with that light. Take a deep breath now and release it. In, let it out. Again, in, let it out. Feel the release of any pressure to achieve anything. And you may be tempted to rush the process, to do something, to hurry this evolution along. You are not yet what you will be, and this in-between stage might be uncomfortable as you yearn to just get there already. Let's think about what we've seen. Imagine yourself as that lodgepole pine seed that has fallen to the ground. That seed could feel as if it's been buried, never to see the light of day again. But feel the soil around you. Know that it's protecting you, precious seed, from what's above. It's not time yet for you to spring forth. Above, the air is cold and harsh. This is no place for a seedling. Relax into this moment and into this time of rejuvenation. Bide your time here. Cherish your time here. Trust the process. Imagine the caterpillar in the cocoon. Bring to mind the feeling of a warm blanket wrapped around you. It's your time to rest. You might be a mess right now, unrecognizable from what you were before, not yet what you will become. But through patience and trust, you will make the transformation. Remember how the oak tree knew when to drop its leaves and how it rested through the winter. And think of the lotus bulb waiting patiently until it was time to reach for the surface. Except there's no need to do anything right now. Yes, grief can produce growth, and it will, all in due time. Just as nature knows when to rest and when to grow, relax into this time of rest for yourself. Do not let anyone rush you, including yourself. There is no hurry. There is nothing that needs to be done that cannot wait. Rest, rest, rest. Now sit with this feeling for a moment. Let the peace that comes from understanding what season it is wash over you. Do not long for what will be. It will come soon enough. Right now, just breathe. Breathe in peace. Breathe out any stress you might feel. Breathe in patience. Breathe out any desire to hurry. Appreciate this time to rest. Cherish this time to rest. Now, walk back to where you were when you first noticed a grove of lodgepole pine trees. It's time to return to your waking life. Walk back to the grove of trees. Walk back through the field of wildflowers. See the gate coming up. Pass through the gate and back onto the road you walked along earlier. Walk back to the room in which your body is currently sitting, waiting for your return. Now feel your fingers and toes. Sense what it's like to be back in your body. Now, open your eyes. Open your eyes to this new way of viewing life. Take this with you as you go about your day. You are a mighty, eternal being, undergoing a transformation that will make you into a new creation. Today, you are right where you need to be. Namaste.